What up, y'all? Nature Girl 30 here. Now, I'm going to make this as quick as possible, and I'm going to do it the same format as I did for Money in the Bank. I'm going to do best matches, worst matches, and sleeper hits. The biggest sleeper hit of the night definitely was the steel cage match with Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens. I honestly enjoyed myself. The fact that I honestly saw Kevin Owens do a stunner and a crotch chop, I thought that was fun. It was kind of cool to actually see that. And the huge spot that he had off of the steel cage was pretty cool to watch. And kind of painful to watch again. Because this is the second big spot that Kevin Owens took. So even though he won, he kind of didn't. But still, it was a sleeper hit of the night, at least for me. Now I'm going to get into the worst matches. And they were both championship matches, of course. The first worst match definitely was the SmackDown women's match. Women's championship match with Carmella versus Asuka. And it's a shame because Asuka deserves better than that. But Carmella, even though she's an amazing heel, they put too much emphasis on James Ellsworth being in there, which I think takes away from both ladies. And it should pretty much, and seeing how that she tried to keep up, I gotta give her credit. She tried to keep up, and she looked pretty decent doing it. And I think that that's what they need to do with Carmella. They need to start building her up and make her a credible threat. And actually showcase that she's getting her skills to show that she's getting better. Instead of her having a minion to kind of get in front, they need to show us why we think she should be women's champion. But they really haven't done that. They put too much emphasis on Ellsworth, and it kind of takes away what she could be. She could be a credible threat one day. She could be a decent champion. I'm not going to say that she's going to be like spectacular like the Queen Charlotte Flair, but at least she'll be somewhat decent or maybe average in the ring like Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is an amazing talker, but she's like the Randy Orton of the women's division. She can keep up with anybody that she's with. And she can keep up with her opponent, as well as try to develop some sort of chemistry with them. So she looks pretty credible in the ring. I can't say the same for Carmella. I just can't. She doesn't have a lot in her arsenal. But the finish was kind of poor. Just seeing how the Asuka just got knocked out by the shark cage because she was so focused on beating up Ellsworth was just dumb. It just kind of was. And then you see Asuka kind of go nuts, even though Asuka is supposed to be the face here, and she's pretty much beating everybody down in the ring, including Ellsworth, which makes no sense. But hey, the lines have crossed so many times with faces these days, I can't even keep up with them. But the second worst match of the night was the U.S. Championship match. I'm sorry, it was. I expected that match to be far better than it was. It was a squash match. Say what you want, but it was a squash match with Jeff Hardy. A low blow to put him down for like what, a good few minutes, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden Ken shots it to the face and he wins really quick, which is something I didn't expect, but it was just cheap. Then you got Randy Orton coming out after what, a year of being gone? I don't know why Corey Graves said he was gone for 2 weeks. He's been gone for a lot longer off of TV. But then here comes Randy Orton strolling in after maybe several months of being gone, only to do this, stomp Jeff Hardy in the nuts and then leave. I don't get that. He literally just stomped his crotch down to nothing and then walked out. That was odd. It was weird, and I hated it by far. But I have to say that the best match of the night definitely was the WWE Championship match with AJ Styles versus Rusev. Now, even though Rusev did not win, and I wish I put my predictions video up, but my internet was being weird. But anyway, even though Rusev did not win, he still looked good. He looked really good. Even though he lost to AJ Styles, he looked really good. That match got the entire crowd hyped. There was like, it was like the AJ Styles Rusev Day, AJ Styles Rusev Day. It was lit in there. Like seriously, it was hyped up in there. The one thing that bugs me the most is Aiden English. I don't know why Aiden English is playing the heel, even though Rusev should be a face. It just looks weird. But now we know that Rusev Day, that Aiden English might be breaking up soon after what he did. He pretty much cost Rusev the match. But it was a great match to watch. I enjoyed myself. The fact that they literally played off their supposed injuries. It was great. It was really great to watch. The fact that he was working on his right leg, trying to have it work. They played it out to the hilt. That was one of the best matches I have seen. And Rusev looked good, as well as AJ looked good. AJ makes everybody look good in the ring when they're with him. And he looks good doing it. And Rusev, I'm not going to take anything away from him. That was an amazing match. So I'm not going to say he was squashed, because he was not. But that even though I wanted him to win, it still was great. I enjoyed it, man. It was absolutely amazing. But as for the other matches, the sad part is I don't really care much about them. And for the Iron Man match at the end, you can tell that the crowd was getting tired. The fact they treated it like the Royal Rumble, counting down every 5 seconds, was getting on Dolph's nerves. You can hear it. And also, it started off with a bang, but then it started slowing down way too quickly, way too early. And then I think it was about maybe the 15-minute mark, it was really, really slow. How Dolph ended up getting his three falls was cheap to me, because I don't think Drew should have been there. I don't think Drew should have been helping him at all. And it seems like that all the refs are playing dumb. Like, you have so many rules for these matches, but for some reason it's taking so long for the refs' calls to go through. I don't know why. It was just weird. But the fact that Drew is helping Dolph so much, I don't really understand, because it's not really helping Drew. It's actually helping Dolph than it's helping Drew. And Drew deserves more than Dolph, at least in my opinion. But despite that, it's interesting how they had the Iron Man match to actually be the main event. And I think that was pretty clever. And the actual kickoff match was pretty decent to watch. But I didn't really care for much of the other ones. And even though the Raw women's match was fairly decent, it wasn't horrible. It was more about Ronda Rousey being at ringside and less about Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. I mean, that's just my opinion. But other than that, guys, my overall thoughts is this. This was a pretty decent pay-per-view. There were points where I had fun. There were matches I didn't really care about, to where I fell asleep a few times. And it was pretty clever to have the Iron Man match as the main event. You had an IC Championship match as the main event. I thought that was pretty clever. Even though I'm not going to say it was poorly executed, but I will say that it kind of slowed down a little bit too early for me. But it wasn't horrible at all. I just wish Dolph wasn't there. I mean, not Dolph. I wish Drew wasn't there. I wish it was Drew versus Seth Rollins, and I was hoping for that. But I guess we're not going to get that right now. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for me. I'm pretty tired, so I'm about to head to bed now. But let me know how you feel in the comments below. And I will try to upload my predictions video maybe a little later. But other than that, y'all, I'm done here. Peace out.